Carl Barks Fan Club presents its European tour, honoring the artists, writers, editors, and publishers of Disney comic books in Europe who continue the Carl Barks style of comic art and storytelling. Awards of recognition, signed by Roy Disney, were presented to the many artists all over Europe who follow in the footsteps of the good duck artist, the legendary Carl Barks. Episode 1, the International Cartoonists Exhibition held in Rapallo, Italy. Not far from Portofino, along the Italian Riviera, is the city of Rapallo. Guarding this ancient city is the Old Castle on the Sea. Constructed in the 16th century, the castle offered protection from pirates. For the exhibition, the castle was converted into a version of Scrooge McDuck's famous money bin. Inside, the castle is decorated with panels from Carl Barks stories featuring Uncle Scrooge and his nephews. The Cartoonists Exhibition is organized each year by the exhibition's founder, Carlo Kendi. Carlo has been a versatile and productive writer of comic books since 1952. Carlo greets Ed Bergen, the president of the Carl Barks Fan Club. It will be Ed Bergen making the presentations of the Scrooge McDuck Goose Egg Nugget Award, signed by Roy Disney. Guests continue to arrive at the Castle Money Bin. There's Don Rosa, world-acclaimed comic artist, sometimes noted as the heir apparent to the longevity and creative output of the comic genius of Carl Barks. Don spoke briefly about Carl Barks in front of a group of attentive attendees at the exhibit.
Just like any American in the 40s and 50s, loved the Carl Barks comics especially.
Carl Barks was born in 1901 near Merrill, Oregon. He sold his first drawing in 1929 to the Calgary Eye Opener, a joke magazine published in Minneapolis. After working several years in the animation department at Walt Disney Studios, in the 1940s Carl moved to a more rural area where he could work on comic books for Western Publishing. Western was the Disney licensee that published all the Disney comic books. Barks worked primarily with Donald Duck, creating a universe of duck characters who lived in the city of Duckburg. Perhaps Barks' greatest creation is that of Scrooge McDuck. Introduced in 1947 in A Christmas Story, Uncle Scrooge went on to become the most iconic character in the Barks universe. Carl Barks was interviewed in 1993 at his studio in Grants Pass, Oregon. Carl reflects on how he came to create Uncle Scrooge.
When I was asked to do A Christmas Story, and I got to thinking of the old classic Scrooge story of that everybody was talking about all the time. So I invented a character named Scrooge, Uncle Scrooge. He's Donald's rich uncle. I never figured I'd ever have any more use for him than just that one story, but he worked out all right.
When asked how he wants to be remembered, Carl replied,
"Well, I would like to be remembered as a guy who did a good job."
A good job indeed. Carl Barks, the good artist. Soon after that interview, Walt Disney Studios took Carl Barks on a whirlwind tour of several European cities. For 6 weeks, Carl was acclaimed by the press and the Europeans who wanted to meet the man behind the Disney Ducks. Everywhere Carl went, he was given rock star treatment. He was greeted in the streets by his adoring fans. Huge crowds gathered to show their appreciation and love for a man who so richly shaped their childhoods. While in Germany, Carl was able to meet Erika Fuchs. It was Erika who translated Barks's American dialogue into German in such a way that the reader could enjoy the full comic effect of Barks's humor. Carl and Erika enjoyed a long and cordial visit. The Cartoonists Exhibition ended with the presentation of the Goose Egg Nugget Awards. The awards were presented by Ed Bergen, president of the Karl Barks Fan Club. Ed is introduced by Carlo Kendi.
I'm very pleased to be here as president of the Karl Barks Fan Club. We have wanted to do this for a long time as a fan club, recognizing those international artists who have continued Karl Barks' legacy and the Disney dub genre. The awards that we will present tonight from the Karl Barks Fan Club to these deserving artists, scriptwriters, and others who have contributed immeasurably to the Disney dub genre is named the Karl Barks Fan Club Goose Egg Nugget Award. My good friend Fausto Onito. I should also mention that each one of the awards has been signed both by myself and Roy Disney himself. Janati, thank you.
Congratulations.
Donald Sofriti.
Disegnare Paperino quando era un paperotto.
Claretta Mucci. Alberto Savini. Vitale Mangiatordi. Enrico Faccini.
Congratulazioni, grazie per questo fatto.
And Fabio Celloni. Andrea Facero. Sergio Bandino. Paolo De Lorenzi. Francesco Di Polito. Silvia Zicca. Umberto Viri.
Umberto Viri.
Oh, now, who is this? Carlo Kendi. Giorgio Cavazzano. And Don Rosa.
A highlight of the evening was the recognition of the much-loved comic book artist Don Rosa. Don Rosa's stories and artistry have for many years continued and expanded on the Karl Barks universe of Disney characters.
All the people in this theater, if you know who he is, who Don is, and if you read the stories he did with Disney characters in them, please give Don a big round of applause.
The audience was, to say the least, enthusiastic in showing their appreciation to Don Rosa for his profound influence he had on many of their lives. The evening ended and the exhibition was drawing to a close. Everyone headed back to the Castle by the Sea. And from there, everyone headed to the final event of the exhibition, the closing celebrations at Ristorante Ujianku. Tune in again to the Karl Barks Fan Club European Tour. Watch for Episode 2, Celebration at Ristorante Ujianku.